Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy. We are back with Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword, and we are just picking up from where we left off last session. Regrettably, the recap came at the end of last stream, so if you need a refresher, be sure to go back through the archive and check it out. But we are going to pick up where we left off here, which at this point has Tabak, Woe, Kresic, and Limon making just a dead sprint in uh, an early evening day on Gledan 2. For this farming world, which is something of a, we described it last time as something of a Mediterranean climate. Quite warm, but with a very pleasant breeze. It would be a very lovely day just to stroll about the grounds. The sun is not so overbearing at this point. The sky is beginning to take on deeper hues of deeper hues of more purple, some red greeting it. Um, the relative calm through the fields would not give any indication of the desperation with which the five of you sprint back down the trail. Um, or in this case, four, as Dekoth is being carried by Kresic right now. But you have been at just a dead run for these past few minutes. Save perhaps for Woe, who just has both the long enough legs and legs long enough to match maintain a good stride. You are all probably out of breath at this point. And, well, as a matter of fact, you are probably a little bit slowed yourself because you are also having to deal with a disruptor shot that landed right in your gut.
Oh my god! I got gut shot while I was away.
It
Who
was
rolled
rough.
for me?
It was
Yeah.
rough.
Who rolled for me? Oh god.
Yeah.
It was the cat.
You notice that you try to look back for some landmark. You realize that you passed the tractor whose wheel was utterly sheared off by the little run-in at the Ridgeway. So you don't. You know that you're at least a good. You're probably at least a good 15 minutes away from those hills after a dead sprint. So you've put some distance in. Tabak is going to just raise an arm, still clenched around his mek'leth. That should be enough for a moment.
Jesus. What? What? What was that all about? Oh my god.
Apparently, the governor is even less competent than we thought. If he can
Do we
have
think
these
he was
raiders run
competent at
up.
all?
Go ahead.
I said, God, do we think he was competent at all?
Either that or there's something truly sinister at work here. You capable of running with that? He says, pointing a blade at the considerable singe mark you have in your abdomen.
I mean, I could power walk for sure. I think I'll be okay. If nothing else, Crescent can drag me. Maybe.
Speaking of Kresic, give me an insight and medicine roll. Difficulty 1, please.
I'm guessing one of my focuses will apply.
List the focus you think might apply here.
Oh, you know which one it is. Emergency medicine.
Yes, I will give you that.
Okay. Insight isn't great, but hey, let's see how it goes.
Well, that's one success, which means that you almost, well, I suppose if you'd rolled better, you might have had time to realize you had to do something about it, but
Oh
As
God.
you are catching up and observing the conversation, you see that your fellow runners here are all in somewhat rough shape. Tabak definitely took some major hits, uh, slashed heavily by the mek'leth of the one warrior who actually had the gall to engage you at close range. But the stimulant you've pumped into him seems to be working. Woe is just remarkably resilient. And has withstood her initial injuries well. You probably want to do something about it with her soon, and Li Wan thankfully has taken no issue. Um, it is, however, of the one person that was not able to run, who was slung over your shoulders, that you realize has stopped breathing at this point.
God.
Okay. That's not good.
Well,
Is there anything I can do?
well, technically, because he sustained a lethal injury at the end of last session there, this man should be dead at this point. However, given how the scene worked out here, you do have I will give you a high difficulty roll, but it's still an opportunity to save Dakoth if you wish.
I would definitely give it a try.
Okay. This is going to be a fitness or rather, daring plus medicine roll. The difficulty on this task is going to be 4.
Okay. And focuses would apply?
Yes, emergency medicine would still apply.
Excellent.
And
I would like to spend my determination.
okay, what value would you be invoking here?
If they breathe, they are my patient.
Well, he's not breathing, but I guess I'll allow it.
And
What would you be using the determination to do here?
so basically, the moment I realized that he stopped breathing, I am going to throw him off my shoulder and start chest compressions.
Okay. More to the point, are you using it for an automatic critical
I am
success?
using it for automatic critical success.
Okay, yeah. For those who are watching who are new to the system, Star Trek Adventures is a 2d20 system, and Crescent, go ahead and roll at your leisure. There are a few things that enter into this. Every roll is essentially a target number where um, you are aiming to hit either the sum of 2 stats or below that level, with 1 actually marking a critical success. So in this case, Kresic is for daring and medicine. I know that your medicine is already up there. That's like a 5. Um, so he has 5 points in his medicine discipline, which the disciplines are career relevant areas. Then there are also attributes, which are kind of softer, more intrinsic elements that might include insight, reason, control, daring. In this case, Kresic's daring would be 8. So the objective was to get a total of 13 there. Um, and because he is so well trained in that, wow, you scored 5 successes on that roll. So that is going to be,
A
yeah,
total of 7 successes.
yep. Because he also chose to spend a point of determination, which you get when you invoke one of your character's values, a belief that is so intrinsic that you get essentially access to a very special point that lets you do a few really useful things. And yes, that awarded 1 automatic critical success or 2 successes. So with that total there, that is 7. Um, the idea was to beat a difficulty of 4, or you needed 4 successes to clear it. So not only do you do so, but you regain momentum from that, which, for
So
reference,
I
yeah,
think, let me make sure I did this properly. You have to buy the determination die first. So it technically would have been 2 momentum for my third die, right?
um,
Because that's technically the fourth die?
no, at least the way I have understood the rules is that momentum purchases are treated separate from the determination. You're not really buying something that you are going to roll with that determination. It's
Okay.
just automatically a critical success. So
Hey,
no
I'll take
worries
it.
here. Yeah. So you have earned momentum, which is sort of an in-game player currency type thing, essentially something that would allow players to buy additional dice, create advantages, do all sorts of useful things. I think there might be a handful of people in the audience who might have some passing awareness of stunt points from something like Dragon Age. I would say that it's a lot like them, but with broader application. So, in any case, the yeah, Kresic, you start with you start doing compressions, and it takes a few moments of relative suspense, and then after an extended time of an extended silence, save for the steady modulated compression, um, he suddenly gasps.
I broke 5 of your ribs.
It feels like it. I much rather wish you had left me a warrior's death. Oh,
That's
but
why you have extra ribs.
then fight another day we shall.
And I sling him back over my shoulder.
Oh, he says as his torso bumps up against your massive scaly shoulders.
Might be 6 now.
Yep. So, Tabak, as we are coming back up on the scene, you've spent about 15 minutes on a dead run after you made it over that ridge. The hostile forces have not pursued you. Uh,
Which is
and
odd.
yes, the quick stock that you have taken of the situation is that your the crew that you brought with you here, some are much worse for wear, including yourself, but you are functioning thanks to Dr. Kressik's unorthodox stimulant or whatever he has in that hypo spray gun of his. Woe is still making a decent pace, although she herself is pretty banged up. The only one who isn't seriously injured, or rather the only ones, would be Dr. Kresick himself and Li Wan, the Aronsen's servant from the governor's household.
Who's still carrying the computer core?
Yes, she still has the data core from the node that you had earlier.
Have we made it back to the shuttle pad yet?
No, you are still a ways out from the rural village that has the shuttle pad.
Are there any more of those little trucks roaming around that we can see?
There are none, and the only one is several minutes back and with a wheel missing.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for an operation. One. That one can go to Grethor for all I care.
I'm sure. So
we're just going to have to make best pace back to the shuttle pad, and hopefully the shuttle is still there.
Yep. So you start your stroll back. You realize at this point that you have not let go. You have not let go, nor had time to sheath your mek'leths, which you are just clutching tightly in either hand.
Resheath them.
And so you replace the blades and start your move
and then
back.
suddenly realize that I didn't pick my disruptor back up.
No, you have lost your disruptor.
I'll have to get one from somewhere.
There's a few older aftermarket ones back on the Yon.
Yeah. So,
At,
yeah, got to make our way back to the shuttle.
Yep. As you start making your way back to the shuttlecraft, the wrist-based comm liner. Do you think that you'd have more like walkie-talkie style communicators, or would you have something wrist-based? I don't think we ever actually.
Built into the gauntlets, is basically what we've always seen in certain situations.
Okay, then in that case, your gauntlet-based communicator goes off.
Nuchne.
And this, I believe, would be a message from the Yon, specifically Mr. Korg.
Greetings.
Do you want?
We've got some bogeys outside. Just letting you know.
Some what?
Some bogeys. Some. I'm sorry, that was that's an old Earth term. We've got bad guys outside. I think. Should I go talk to them?
What are they doing? Who are they? What are they?
Oh, I haven't asked yet.
Oh,
That would be good
well,
information to have to
I
base a
guess
decision on.
I guess that puts the kibosh on what we originally talked about there. Uh, in that case, I am going to spend the 2 threat in order to play out the scene and yeah, just head back for a moment to the port. Stand by here. So, stand by just one moment. I am moving us over here. So, it was shortly after the comm signal, as we're playing it now, back at the port. Mr. Korg, you taking information from the sign specialist you have, the one Mr. Vopry. You were informed from the local proximity sensor that there had been a presence starting to move towards the ship. They are coming out near the port, and it seemed quite considerable here. So let me set those. We'll just use some stock tokens for this. Stand by here. Where did they go? Oh dear, they seem to my warriors seem to have vanished. Well, in that case, we will make do with an alternative here. Um, you head out from the port and determine that there are signs of the what look to be several armed guardsmen from the governor's residence. They mostly appear to be in the same type of armor that were at the house, and several of them also appear. Um, some of them appear to have been up armored essentially, or they appear to have taken on maybe a few shoulder pads. Most are carrying batleths, although there are quite a few that have simply taken to using disruptors. I would put their numbers at roughly a dozen. We will use. We'll portray about half that number here.
Brady, am I still on with the captain?
I suppose if you wish to be, although I had meant to spend the threat in order to abruptly cut off the scene, but that was
Gotcha. It
after
cut off
our
mid.
original
You're good.
plans.
You're good.
Anyway,
I messed up.
yeah.
So I've lost contact. The signal cut.
Now, I am going to say that yes, for the moment, signals are being jammed.
There's a bit of swearing on our walk back to the shuttle.
Mhm. So, as you leave the ship and find that the signal is now being jammed, Mr. Korg, you come out and you see the dozen or so Klingon guards that are outside the ship. One of them steps forward. Uh, as with most of them on the planet, he seems to be another one of the Kohach, the same smooth-headed Klingon that is very common to this era, those long since afflicted by the Kuvat virus, the plague of nearly a century prior. You there! Are, where is that Farasan Hadabach?
I'm unsure of who you're referring to. Why have you come with so many numbers?
They're here under orders. He looks over a pad and says, mm, "You may know them also as Kazinti. I am here with orders to place a Kazinti under arrest. As we understand it, they came aboard this ship."
There is no Kazinti on board this ship.
Those exact words are true at the moment. But he narrows his eyes. Do you think me a fool?
Well, no. With respect,
Then why do you tell me something so blatantly obviously false? There are records of only one ship coming in this past day, a raptor of some description, and from that crew, if you can call it that based on the assortment that walked through, there was one Kazinti among this crew, and you tell me they are not on board the ship?
yeah, they are not on board the ship. I have no idea where they are at this current moment.
And you will report their whereabouts to us as soon as you have learned their location.
Sure.
Very well. Until then, understand that you are not here on good faith at this point, and that we will not take your promises as such. And he presents you with a pad. Your ship is considered impounded for the duration of until we have the Kazintian question in custody by order of Governor Jagren. Any attempt to leave, and you will be fired upon. Furthermore, we will supply you no further parts or work to repair your vessel.
Okay, first of all, that's downright rude and dishonorable. Second of all,
You dare challenge my honor? He says, bringing his bat'leth to the ready.
uh, ish.
Are you
You need,
afraid of me?
well, you need all these people, all these Klingon warriors for one Kazinti.
The governor prefers his work be done properly, old man. And
So,
your crew, as I understand it, is quite the assortment of rogues.
still, you brought all these people. Is he feeding you well? I look at the other warriors. Is he at least feeding you for this?
They kind of look around at themselves. they're kind of baffled by your line of query here.
Uh, where
In
do I
any,
want to put this? Questioning your honor? No. Doubting you have any? Yes. Uh, but if any Kazinti show up here, I will communicate it.
you can be assured that if they show up, then we will be the first on hand to see them. We will place them very swiftly under arrest, and we will see to it that any who interfere with that process are also join their fate in a cell. And
What is she is are they what are they wanted for?
they assaulted house guards. He tightens
Like rather kosher of them.
he tightens the hold on his bat'leth. Those were some of my men that were seriously injured, and that the disrespect that was done to them after bringing you as guests of this house. Oh, I would be tempted to strike you down, let alone for the comments you've made here, old man. This part for your infirmity, he says, gesturing to your missing left arm. Or was it the right arm that's missing? I forget.
Right arm, I believe.
The right arm. Were it not for that missing, were it not for your infirmity there, he says, gesturing to your arm, I might have challenged you, but I will let you sit in that old, broken hulk of a ship of yours and let you think about that.
So hypothetically, okay, that's theoretically, just in case Earth term. I know you might not be quite as keen on Earth lingo,
He
but
scowls
uh,
at an Earth illusion.
what happens if the colony is attacked, and the only way to save it is by us getting in the ship and going out and defending it?
That is up to the discretion of the governor. You wish to find some resolution, you take it up with them, or you simply turn over that patah.
As I said, I will communicate. But our communication thing seems to be having some issues currently. Um,
That will be tended to momentarily. Then he sets a bat'leth. He takes one hand off his bat'leth so that he can set the sword to his side with the bottom of essentially one end touching the ground and the other still in his hand, such that he could lean on it if he wanted to. But he raises a hand over his head and snaps twice. Some of the guards come up. They appear to have large pieces of equipment, and they start moving towards the ship, specifically near the landing, the legs, essentially, like the landing gear.
is how many you said there were a dozen people here?
Yep,
So taking this guy's weapon and trying to take all 12 guys on would probably be a suicide run.
most certainly. Certainly, with just you, you get the sense that these people are very much looking for the excuse for you to, or rather, they're looking for an excuse to escalate and bring them down. Honestly, if what they are saying is true here, you're half expected that they aren't just launching an attack in the first place.
Um,
Do you take any steps to interfere with them?
what's the what's do I recognize what the equipment is? Could I roll like a
I'll give you an insight and engineering roll with a difficulty of 2 to identify it.
And I'm assuming none of my stuff's going to come into play, so I'll turn my focus off.
Mm-hmm.
You said complication range 2?
No, the complication range only remains at 1, so you
Ah,
will only
okay.
roll a if you roll a 20, that will be a critical failure, but nothing else. You do, however, need to score a total of 2 successes in order to beat the check.
I would like to spend a momentum to roll a third dice.
Huh? Taybok, if you're willing to
We've
drop that,
got
then go right ahead.
4 of them. I think should be okay.
There you go.
All right. And that is 3 successes. So Taybok, if you can pick up that momentum, just go ahead and do that. Um, Azek, it very simply, it appears that they've got some sort of dampening equipment. It seems as though there's also magnetic clamps. You would guess that they have, it's some sort of EM dampener, something that is, they would probably affix it to the landing gear here, but it would have a general sort of dampening effect on the ship, or it would impact some of the relays and prevent you from being able to take off, fire weapons, raise shields, anything of the sort while you're on the ground. Or
Fair
for as
enough.
long as those clamps are affixed. So they are.
I think. Yeah, I have to. I have to protect the ship. Um, is there any way that we may proceed without the the training wheels, as it were, or the restraints on our ship? Um, and
If
I will mention our long range sensors have picked up something, a couple of ships coming into the sector, and we're not quite sure what they are, but
a very likely story, the guard says. But even if true, I have my orders at present, and the only way that I would be willing to he starts to think about it. No, I really don't have that latitude. This order comes straight from my governor, and I am loyal. You wish to have them taken off, you know what you need to do. Though perhaps I could put in a word of good behavior if you permit an inspection of the vessel to verify that the Kzinti is not on board.
all right. Um, do I know how much the or how far the captain was?
They it they're at least a couple hours away in the best of circumstances.
Okay.
We're more than 1,000 kilometers away from you right now. Probably closer to 13 to 1,400 kilometers.
Yeah, this isn't something that you are going to be able to stall them out in the hopes of buying them time for the crew to get here. And even if you brought out Raldar, Voprion, God forbid Traven, the the relative force ratio here is dicey. It's frankly dicey even with your existing crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that point, it's not numbers; it's quality.
I'm not quality in combat.
If I had both hands, I might consider it even
As
more.
I say,
But
better.
uh, all right. Well, I guess we'll just figure this out when if what happens if that person doesn't come back?
Well then, old man, I guess your ship is going to be here for a long time. unless they're dead, and unless our governor decides otherwise. As you say this, the guards move into position and have begun affixing the EM dampeners on board. They clamp onto the hull magnetically, and main power systems begin to flit out. Raldar, amidst some repairs, you start noticing that there is a considerable dampening effect on the main and auxiliary power systems. There are some secondaries that are still at work, but you quickly get the sense that the ship is not going anywhere.
Ugh.
Yep. In
What's
any case, we'll link back up with you in a moment, but Mr. Korg, as they complete their work, the guards all start basically taking up positions around the landing pad, keeping watch for any incoming traffic as well as on the ship. Well, talk to who you have to, old man, and perhaps if you find that Kazinti soon, you might yet leave this planet.
If they come back. I tell you what, though, you're maybe after all this is taken care of, you and I can have that duel to first blood, because that sounds kind of fun and challenging. Not right now, because I got work to do, and I'm sure you've got work to do, being all serving your master, which I think you could be doing a better job of. Just saying, as governor of this planet.
The guard captain, the leader of the guard here, leans in. When we are off our respective duties, old man, I will duel you to the death, with an arm tied behind my back, if you so wish. Then we will see whose honor is intact. Your communication should be reopened now. Do what you must.
Well, I guess I'll be in touch. If I see said person, I will communicate them. Communicate something.
So the guard captain just turns away from you without another care, just going about supervising the other Klingon soldiers that are present. And
Nobody can see it, but I'm flipping him off with my right arm. But it's not there, so nobody can see it.
with a
Yeah, I was going to
with a
say,
right
the missing
arm.
arm.
Yep, with the right
Yep.
arm you've long since parted with. It's flipping him off in spirit.
I'll
Anyway,
head back on board. Yeah.
Vopri signals, calls out. Vopri's got a ship-wide alarm, communications going. Um, to anyone here, the main power fluctuating. We do sensor range is considerably diminished. Thrusters, I don't know that they'll respond. Mm.
I'll
Raldar, you are likewise on this internal ship line.
Vopri, make sure that internal ship line is doubly secure.
Okay.
And I'll make sure that I want to make sure that the guard. Are there any guards stationed outside the hangar?
They are kind of stationed around the landing pad. It's an open layout, but they're watching all approaches to the ship, as well as keeping an eye on the ship to make sure that nobody messes with the dampeners nor comes
Sure.
out to attack them otherwise, anything of the sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under
Raldar, you can
under
also hear the comm line as it comes back inside the ship.
under horrible judgment, I'm gonna shut the door. The I guess the cargo door or whatever door we're using to get in and out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
radio.
it's the lift. You really can't leave
Okay.
it open.
Okay. I'm in my head. I had it pictured the Firefly door for some reason.
No, it's the lift.
You're cutting out a little bit there, Sean, but yeah, the
Sorry.
basically the door or the lift, as I understand it, can drop from the ventral section of the ship or the lower
Okay.
side of it, and basically you
All
take the
right.
lift, it comes back into the ship.
All right. I'll mention that. Well, we've got some rather troubling things happening. Traven, you need to make sure to. Is Traven on this or not?
Traven can probably hear it, but he might be mixing up some cleaning supplies right now, or mopping.
Traven, if you hear anybody coming on board, you need to hide, like, extremely well. That's not us. Uh, looks like our Kazinti friend has made a name for herself. Uh, and we're going to have to figure out a way to get out of this. They have put a boot on, basically a lock on our ship. We can't leave. We're impounded for the time being. Um, how far away is the captain? Do we know, or do we have sensors on him?
Still about oh geez, I'm forgetting like roughly 1,000 kilometers away. Uh, or how did we settle this in Calicams? I believe that was, yes, that was half the or rather twice the distance there. So that'd be or nope, it would be about 500 Calicams away for more Klingon appropriate measurement.
All right. As I make my way to the bridge, I'll make sure that we get a secure line to the captain
Okay.
as best we can.
All right. So Vopri helps you connect a line, and Captain, as you were continuing your hike, you open a channel to. You get the buzz from the Jan.
About damn time. What's going on? Speak to me.
Well, this rather stately gentleman came by and handed me a pad. Said our Kazinti friend has made a name for herself, and they would like to talk with her.
I sort of roll my eyes and look over at Woe.
I just shrug. I have no idea what I've done wrong.
I do. As of right now, I do not know where they are, and when you get close to the ship, don't be surprised if I'm blindfolded, because I promised I said that if I see them, that I would communicate with it. So I figure if I'm blindfolded, I'm not gonna see them, so I don't have to communicate. Solved. Problem solved.
Porg, that's not how that works, mate. Oh god, okay. Did they?
And I'm the ship's pilot.
Yeah, that's not really gonna work. I'm sorry, sweetheart. That's not gonna work.
Well, consequently, we've got a new pair of decorations on the feet of the ship, the landing struts of the ship. Um, we've been impounded.
Oh, good.
I thought it was because of my music too loud, but no, can't be that lucky.
So, what are we gonna do to make it unimpounded?
They want you. So
I'll look to the captain. What do you want to do, Captain?
Impounded, meaning they've set dampeners on board the ship.
yep. And they have stopped all repairs. I tried to convince them not to, and failed horribly. I have told our friend Traven to hide if he hears anybody on board that is not us, to make sure that they are safe. Um,
Is there sufficient power to run the cargo transporter?
I look over at the science guy.
Why are
Is
you?
there?
I don't know that. I am not an engineer. I have not been working with the
Check with
powers.
Raldar. Check with Raldar.
Well, he's got all these signs, but Raldar, hang on, please hold.
He shouts down. Just you hear like off the like slightly off mic. Raldar, Raldar, get over here! Just as he shouts from one end of the ship to the other.
Pick up the phone.
What?
Do we have enough power for the transporters?
It's a
Maybe.
cargo transporter at the moment.
Cargo transporter, yeah.
A solid maybe.
Get enough power to one of to the cargo transporter and up the resolution so we can as the shuttle comes in, I want you to beam woe from the shuttle to the cargo bay. And
And
make sure that Azek isn't in the room when you do it.
And this is to accomplish what?
To get her
Exactly?
on board the ship.
Our grounded ship.
Yes. One problem at a time. We are engineers, we solve problems. Sometimes we must do them in a linear fashion.
I'm gonna pull the captain aside and say, you know, if they search the ship, there's nowhere for me to hide, right? I'm too big for that.
I'll stick you in a cargo container if I have to.
Let's move
It's
this
gonna
up to
take
the
at least
bridge.
3, buddy. I don't know.
There are crawl spaces that they will never find that I can shove you in. Don't worry about it. For now. For now.
Whatever you say, Captain.
But they need to have that up and operational by the time we get there.
Should we find a Kazinti-sized container just in case while we wait?
You're not going to be waiting. You're going to be making sure that the cargo transporter, the resolution is high enough to transport a living object and not turn it into so much meat.
Captain, I'm a pilot, not an engineer.
Well, Raldar is. Fine, you go ahead and find a box big enough for the cat. Not my cat, my cat.
I got you.
From the captain's chair, lazing about, the Earth feline just lazily looks around the room and blinks very slowly.
Good girl.
Yes, she's keeping your seat warm, Tabok.
So
Okay,
get
is
that
there?
going.
This is a silly question, and this is probably more of an out of character thing. Would it be possible to like sever an arm, say she died, and then just stitch it back on when she gets back?
Like, I know that you want more than one person to just have one arm on the ship, but this is not the way to go about it. This is not the time for that.
Okay, bad idea.
Oh.
Sorry.
If we have to kill her, we'll kill her. Don't worry about it.
You in what frickin' army?
You'll get better.
Better.
Right, Kresic? We can kill her and make her better?
It's possible.
Good. Then we'll
It's
take possible.
messy.
More than likely, yes. Make sure to have extra sand.
So make sure the transporter work. Find a big box. Is there anything else I should be doing, Captain?
They've halted repair work.
Yeah. From the outside, they didn't say that we couldn't keep repairing on the inside,
Well,
but there's not much I can do.
Raldar is busy trying to up the capabilities of a cargo transporter. Gonna need, whatever other small repairs that can be done, get them done. Help Raldar with whatever he needs in getting the ship fixed. Understood?
Yeah, I think I saw an extra roll of duct tape somewhere here on the bridge. We'll figure it out.
I took back the cement mixer because it wasn't bolted to the floor yet.
We have to get back to the shuttle. We have a data core that we're going to have to tie into the ship to analyze the data so that we can hopefully figure out who's been stealing people from this world.
The dude I was talking to seems like that. Well, this is over comms. I don't want to talk about that over comms. So
We've already discussed things over comms that probably shouldn't have been discussed over comms. I assumed this was a secure line.
I asked for a secure
Was that
line.
an incorrect assumption?
Oh. Vilpry like nods and says, "It's fine. What, Captain? The line is secure. I have made sure of it personally."
If it's not secure,
No, it is
you're
secure.
just dead.
The
Anyway,
line is
moving
secure.
along.
I promise you. Don't hurt me.
Oh, it won't hurt. It'll be fairly quick. Moving along.
Vilpry just shrinks down.
So, we're on our way back to the shuttle. We were ambushed, in fact, as we got to the data core. We have injured. Everyone is practically injured. Well, practically everyone is injured. No one is practically injured. Ugh.
Well, this person brought like 12 got Klingon warriors to do this bidding thing. So congrats on that, Whoa. But
you.
like in my head, I had pictured all of them injured, but the math wasn't adding up.
Don't get into any fights just yet. Unless your honor absolutely demands it.
Nah. Spatial trajectories are easy. Like combat is it's a little one-handed. I'll admit.
So to speak.
Mr. Korg is
We'll
not the
be
most
there when
handy
we be
person in a
there.
fight. Sorry.
Really? Yep, I'm all lefts in a fight.
Right. Anyway, moving along.
Yep.
We will be there. We will communicate when we are much closer. Raldar, you have 2 hours.
Fine.
So, we'll give you a moment here. The line cuts out as Tabok sets about what he needs to do. And
More trudging.
as they trudge along, on the way there, Raldar, if you want to start working on the transporter resolution, I will give you the opportunity to run a task in order to do this.
I will do this.
Okay, I will ask you
Good
for
luck.
an. This is going to be a control and engineering roll. Um, it is going to be up to a difficulty 4, in part because you are demanding much higher resolution than would be normally expected, and you are also running. You don't have a lot of power to work with here. You're trying to figure out a way to make both of those work properly.
All right. May I steal an
Yes.
extra?
Yes.
Yeah, hand it over.
Yes. Yes.
Also, the ship will still assist you with engineering and computers.
All right.
So you're gonna need what, 3 momentum to get 2 extra dice?
That is correct.
Because I'm trying to squeeze out extra power, can I use my EPS focus on this?
I will allow for that.
All right.
Although that might actually make a little more sense for when you do the transport. Well, I guess your understanding of the system is still integral to what you're doing with the task, so I will allow it.
All right.
Is there any way that I could assist?
Oh, nothing that comes to mind, but you may certainly attempt to pitch something.
The only thing that's coming to mind is wiping his brow as he works.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do for this one.
He's a lizard. He doesn't sweat.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's do this. Oh yeah!
So,
Oh!
oh boy.
Holy Toledo!
So,
And the ship.
Raldar
Yeah, and then the
at
ship has to help too.
yeah,
Is
Raldar
that 1
at
die for the ship?
yes, that is a single die for the ship. However, it is treated as always having a focus, which for those in the those unfamiliar with the lingo here again, when our characters roll in the 2d20 system, because they're trying to go at or under a target number, there is always the critical success and critical fail range is actually flipped in the Star Trek Adventure system. So 1 is a critical success, 20 is a critical failure. The critical success range can actually be expanded by use of focuses, which essentially reflect whatever discipline is being used here. Or rather, it expands the range based on that score. So in this case, Raldar, he's a good engineer. He has an engineering score of 4, generally for a discipline that can top out to 5, so it's pretty well up there. With an applicable focus on this task, he could score up to score a critical success on a relevant task by either rolling a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And he did exactly that because after using some momentum to buy additional dice, he wound up scoring that would be 6 successes, with 2 of those being 2s on the die, which fall within his critical success range. So Raldar,
So
you
the
know,
ship can assist with engineering and
engineering and computers here, because he is trying to plot out how this is going to work without conducting the transporter task
it's
just yet.
only a single die.
Yes. Um, being Star Trek, we do have ships here, and while the values they use are slightly different, because instead of reflecting an individual's status, they reflect the ship's systems and not so much the individual discipline, but the strength of each department. The ship did not roll a success, unfortunately, but it does not at least roll a complication. So Raldar, you find that with the dampeners in place, It does take a bit more power to increase the resolution. However, and you do have to pull that from a few what you would consider non-essential systems. Woe's heat lamp is going to be offline. As a matter of fact, everybody's going without heat lamps for a little while, along with a few other systems that you aren't necessarily in need of using. So the artificial gravity, for example, isn't really an issue. Inertial dampeners don't really need that right now. Um, just a few smaller secondary systems that, while vital for ship like space-based travel, you don't really need to use right now. Between some of that and some of the reserve power, you are able to allocate enough power for a one-off transporter task here. Uh, so that will come a bit later. But as you do that, first I should say with 6 successes, I believe we'd set the difficulty of this to 4. So Tabak, I'm going to give you back 2 momentum. And here we go. As that is happening, we will cut back to the Theater of the Mind, where some time elapses here. Unless you would like to have a scene unless you'd like to have a scene in the immediate aftermath, then we can allow for some time to elapse. So we may as well check here. Tabak, Woe, Kresik, would any of you
Oh
want
no,
to
I'm
talk
good. I'm good to just get up in the air and head back to the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
And we just
Let's do
cut to
this.
commercial, come back from commercial break. We're on our way then.
Yep. So, when we do the brief commercial cut, and when we come back, we get a nice view over the small farming village that you had landed in. The village has some ties to you, or some significance, insofar as this is where everybody you rescued had come from. Uh, the survivors were all grateful, and as you've understand it, most of them had been about reuniting with each other. Um,
Here's a
the,
question: when we get back up in the air in the shuttle, and we can see the village, do we see another ship anywhere? Just
that'll be
sort
a
of landed.
that'll be a question as you get back into the air. Um, but you make your way back to the landing shuttle. Is there anything you wish to do before you board the craft?
Oh, that's just so scary. Yeah, I'm gonna look around the outside of the ship and make sure there aren't like, oh, I don't know, maybe someone strapped a bomb to the underside of it somewhere.
Okay.
Because I'm a little
Insight,
paranoid.
insight, and security, please. We'll call the difficulty on this one.
That's good.
I would also allow you to substitute in engineering if you wish.
Yes, I would wish. Thank you. 2 dice.
Yes.
2 dice. Oh God.
Well, you succeed, but you also rolled a 20 on the die, which is a complication. So, you have one of 3 choices, as with every complication roll there, Tabak. You may, 1, buy that off by spending 2 momentum. You may give the GM threat, or you may accept a narrative complication.
Oh, let's do it the old woe fashion. Let's go for a complication.
Complication.
You always go for the complication.
I go
Narrative
for narrative complication. Yes.
narrative complications. Yes, that's what
Okay.
you always go for. That's what
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
just to make life not so dull. In between murdering people and kidnapping cooks.
Yep.
Thank you.
You enter. You search about the exterior of the craft, looking for any signs of some sort of looking for any signs of any tampering or any sort of bomb equipment. As you pass by the prow of the ship, the pilot that has been, or the pilot that is just on duty in there looks about and kind of just pays you no mind for a moment, takes a brief look back outside and sees the broader party. Tabak, you continue moving around the ship. There's no sign of any further tampering, and it seems as though that this is your basic, surface to surface shuttlecraft. No major tampering of any, or no tampering of any sort. Maintained decently well. There might be. If you want to take a peek inside, I will. There's possibly more to it, but from the outside, nobody has planted a bomb or anything of the sort.
Well, yeah. Then open the cockpit. Open the passenger compartment, and I'm gonna
Yep.
check the inside. I mean, obviously, I'm not just looking for a hardwired bomb into something. There's gonna check the fuel feeds, check the generator, check make sure they haven't stuck something in there that as soon as we do the startup sequence, it just overloads and goes kaboom.
Yep. As you are looking like around the seats and pulling away bits of paneling, you hear that there's a door that separates the sort of cockpit area from the rest of the shuttle. That door opens and the pilot steps through, a fairly generic disruptor in hand. You there! What are you doing?
I'm making sure the shuttle's not rigged to explode. We've already been attacked twice.
My proximity sensors haven't detected anyone enter this craft.
What about you?
I am the. I have been here on my duty station as is called upon. But my question actually pertains to you, very specifically that Kazin you have outside. There's been some reports on the safety net that there's a rogue Kazinti that is assaulting members of the household guard. I don't see many of them on this planet.
No, neither do I, but it's definitely not that one.
And how are you so sure?
I've heard the same rumors. This was 2 days ago. We've been out there for 3 days.
That's nothing of the sort. That information just came through.
Yes, I heard it.
It has not been that many days. It's been hours.
Has it really only... Wait, out of character. It has only been hours? I thought that was like 2 days prior.
No, this...
That's... Okay, that's...
No,
that's my mistake. I thought I thought more time had passed.
Dude, keep going with it. Just keep going with it. Just confuse them.
What is this, confuse a Klingon?
Yes, dude, just keep going.
Oh.
Bluff your way into it.
I don't bluff for crap.
You already were. You were doing it.
If you wish to attempt to bluff, then I would allow for I suppose this would be a daring and command roll here.
Sure, why not? Let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I could die. All right. None of my focuses are going to apply here at all. Wait, Orion business practices, would those apply?
Oh, I don't think that they would.
Well, they're not exactly the most honest people to do business with.
That's
Never mind.
racist.
Don't permit that. That's terrible.
It is. It's horrible. I take it back.
Well, you owned up to it, so I'm not taking threat.
There we go.
Okay. So, 2 successes to try and gaslight this man. Let's see how that does. He matches. He's no. I'm quite certain this was more in the range of hours ago. You haven't caught any bugs, have you?
Not that I'm aware of, although we were attacked. And
By
not by bugs.
by
Can't
Kazinti?
can't you
No.
see my patients are dying?
Yeah, we were attacked by Klingon warriors
Yep.
for
Uh,
no reason.
as Kresik just, I imagine like this man is facing away from the this man's facing away from the entry point, so Kresik just cranes down with his giant lizard man face and says it in his deep tones and it's like, "Oh, Shah, you should be more careful whose blind spot you come into. And if your cousin is, if they have been with you this whole time, if you are certain of that, then
Very much certain. Yes. Now, we
very
need
well."
to get back so we can attend to our medical care.
He puts away the disruptor. I will take you back to the port. Certainly, I
We
will.
can fly it ourselves. Don't worry about it.
But
Your
I'm
assistance is not required.
but I am on duty. I must do this, and I must make sure to report the situation and that
It will
all
be reported. Don't worry about it.
my
Your assistance
my
is no
honor.
longer your honor is served. You've done your job well. Your assistance is no longer required.
He starts backing up to the cockpit, although his disruptor back in his holster. I must at least report the situation here, particularly if
What
there was an
situation?
attack.
I'll get to that when we get there.
Oh.
I have words for the guy. I will have words with the governor.
He turns his back to you and just starts walking in, not bothering to close the door, but still continuing the conversation. You will forgive me. You will forgive me there. I know you have the blessing of the household advisor to operate, but these things need to be reported. If we don't do anything, then the rating problems I've been hearing about lately could get worse.
Oh,
That's one
roll
of
to
the
put
things we
this
need to
man in a
do is
sleep
get
hole.
into the air,
Yep.
because if those people who attacked us are here for more slave raids, we need to get in the air and see if they are doing it.
He's both starting up the shuttle's engines as well as accessing the communication systems. At this point, Woe, if you would like to step in, then
Yes, I'm gonna gently push the captain back, just with like you would, just like a small child, and walk over to put this man in a chokehold. Oh
okay.
my god!
Daring and security, difficulty 1.
All right, hold on. Where am I? There I am.
So he starts just
Uh,
going through the pre-flight on the engines first. So that system is starting
oh,
to whir
sorry,
up.
wrong number.
Well,
Oh my god! Oh my god! You kidding me?
well,
Are you
No.
joking?
Nope, the dice
So-
gods hate us. That's all there is to it.
so that everyone knows what happened, the first roll was mistakenly done with 3 dice, which was 2 successes, but also a complication. Because Woe had not spent any momentum, it was re-rolled, and not only did you not succeed, you rolled a 19 and an 18, which, while not complications, come pretty damn close. So,
My god!
yes, you
Ugh.
fail abjectly. You try to quietly come in and move in for the chokehold. Unfortunately, you stub your toe, and that sends your head back into the to the top of the door. Because bear in mind, 9-foot Kazinti that you are, quite the aberration for the species. But being the height that you are, and as bulky as you are, you weren't prepared to duck and lift in exactly the right way that you needed to. This does no harm to you, however, it does put the Klingon on alert, as he goes with one hand for his disruptor and then the other hand towards a comm line.
Oh God.
You
Uh,
may, if you wish to sort of snuff out any type of combat here, then you could spend momentum to keep the initiative, as it were. But he's going to be
how?
ready to contest something this time around.
Oh God. How much initiative do we have?
Well,
I mean, how much momentum do we have?
you have 3
Well,
momentum. You
I
need
just
to spend
dropped
2.
one. All right, I got to drop another one.
Oh, forget it. I'll go into combat. That's
Forget
fine.
it. Keep it.
Well, that you have to keep the initiative at this point because
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
either that or the man acts next, and you haven't received medical treatment lately, so you are in pretty bad shape.
Oh God. How bad shape? Like, could I take another blast?
Probably not.
You got
God.
gut shot.
Dang it. Okay. All right. Fine.
Question.
All
Yes.
right. I'll keep the initiative. So I guess drop that and.
Before you act there, Kresic, what was it that you wanted to do?
Can I sedate her using this initiative slot?
Don't you dare.
Sedate the pilot or sedate Woe?
No, sedate. Whoa.
Daring and medicine.
I was gonna act like I fell in there.
And I think that it would be daring and security if you wish to contest Woe.
No, I can't see Kresik. I just hit my head.
Fair
Um,
enough.
All right.
So, Kresic, that's going to be difficulty 1 then.
Any focuses? Probably not, right?
I don't think I would award it.
Pharmacology?
Well, technically, you had to blend up the. You had to do something special to blend up the Kazinti sedative, or one specifically tailored to Woe. So yeah, I'll give that to you.
Oh my God.
2
Are
successes.
you kidding? Are you
So-
kidding?
You earn back 1 momentum, and the sedative makes contact with the back of Woe's neck, or like right along a side near one of the near an artery, and Woe, you feel the world's going to sleepy time now.
Why? And then I face plant.
Well,
Apologies, my patient is delirious.
the pilot just
She
looks.
She was hit in the belly with a disruptor and then hit in the head. She's not doing well.
Very well. I will get you back so you can attend to your patients, he says. And he's going to move to close the cockpit door. And the shuttle will start takeoff sequence and head right that way. You have privacy for the time being, but you've also very
Kresic.
much put this man on alert.
Yes. So
Yes.
I gestured to him to bring his head closer to mine so I don't have to speak loudly. You're going to have to make her appear dead. Or really make her dead to get us through this. Probably a good thing that you put her unconscious. Otherwise, we'd have yet another body to explain.
It's a start.
And this man has done nothing to deserve death at this point.
Fine.
If you have to wait until we're closer, wait till we're closer.
I will.
I need to talk to this pilot, so attend to your patience.
All right.
And I push the call button to talk to the pilot in the cockpit.
A beat or so passes while a signal, or before the pilot acknowledges the signal. Nukne.
Wait a minute, real quick question. Are we in the air yet, or is he still running through pre-checks?
Unless you, well, my plan was to have you start running in the air, but if you would
All right,
like,
no, that's fine.
okay.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to. We need to circle around the village. This was one of the ones that was hit hard by the raiders, and we were attacked, and I think they were more of those raiders. So we need to see if there's another ship anywhere landed nearby. Can you do that?
There's another pause, and then the door opens, and he gestures for you to come up.
I come into the pilot area.
I am running scans now to see if there are signs for other ships.
Fine,
You
then
may assist me.
You scan. You fly. You scan. Keep the scan going. Fly around. I'll do a visual look because I think they have access to your sensor systems on this world.
The pilot looks to you with a mix of surprise and revulsion at the thought that they've somehow gained some sort of access, or like they've breached security in this manner. Very well. Keep an open eye. I will navigate us around the village.
What do I need to roll?
This will
To
be
keep an eye out.
insight and security with a difficulty of 3.
Difficulty of 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a momentum to get an extra die. Alright, let's see if they like me today. So far, not so much. Nope.
So, you can make out no signs of craft that are in the area, Tabok. As near as you can see, there might be a handful of trails similar to the ones that the shuttle has left behind, the sort of visual indicators of the propellant that they are using. For these type of atmospheric shuttles, they don't necessarily use impulse engines. They do have some. They essentially work with thrusters that have some sort of propellant in them.
Yeah, well, Klingon thrusters at this time and even in later times, are essentially just gravitic impellers. They don't use reaction thrust.
That would be true of most of them. These are an inexplicably older bunch here.
It's a backwater world.
Yep. Yes, exactly that. So there are some signs of streaks from shuttles around the world. As a matter of fact, the more that you think about it, it does come to your mind that these designs, the shuttle designs, although decently well maintained, do seem a tad archaic, and there are some aspects of it that the interiors don't seem quite as brutal or jagged as you would expect, and some of the panels don't necessarily conform to the same standards as you. It looks as though the Klingon overlays were set up later, basically.
So this doesn't look like it's an original Klingon designed and built vessel.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Where do these shuttles come from? I asked the pilot. This is not a standard Klingon design.
They were adapted sometime afterwards. This world was once it once belonged to the Aaron Sen. the Jegpui of this native to, well, it was one of their colonies as I understand it, but they had some left over. There was no reason not to put them to use.
Hmm.
Uh,
What are the sensors picking up? Anything?
He's going to run just a quick roll here. If there was a raiding vessel of some sort, then they are long since gone at this point. But I can detect no signs of any vessels that rose recently through the atmosphere. How recently would this have been?
This attack? This
Yes,
attack was an hour previous. That's how long it took us to walk here, right? About an hour?
I'd give you that.
Yeah.
Mm. No signs of ionic disruption or the necessary or gravitic alterations of anything
No
of the sort.
takeoffs. What of landings?
I detect no signs of craft in the area. Nothing that wasn't. There are no other. There are no alien vessels that I can detect.
I'm not
I
looking for
see
alien
signs of.
vessels.
There are signs of flight paths of perhaps other shuttles that might have been in the area, but there are some that have flown. There are several that have flown over recently. That
I never said alien vessels.
you were saying that
These people were stolen by Klingons.
the pilot just kind of looks dumbfounded, which evolves into revulsion.
We feel the same.
These are dark times for the Empire indeed. You were sent out here with the governor's favors, I understand it. Perhaps it is best that I push this old shuttle as fast as it can go, get you back to the port in order to do this, in order to move as quickly as possible.
This sounds like a plan. Our Kazin is not doing well. Her health is fading. The wounds were bad.
Do you believe other Klingons are involved here? Is this
Klingons
just
were who attacked us. They used batleth that were very non-standard. They shot at us with Klingon disruptor pistols. They were dressed as Klingons.
oh, dishonorable Toba? Are the do you suspect there are raiders from off-world, or even some that have been based here all along?
My suppositions are my own. I will not endanger you with my own ideas.
Well, perhaps it is for the best, he says, and with that he'll start punching up his throttle. Do what you must to secure your people. I think for now I'm going to get this shuttle going fast and perhaps move a little quieter. He has not yet sent
I,
his report in, so he's, like you saw, one of the displays had a vague draft of something, but he's set
yeah,
that aside for now.
good. Fly well, my friend. If my suspicions are correct, if you send that report, it will be ignored, or this shuttle will be shot out of the sky.
He's going to give you a nod there, and just to let's just see how far you go in terms of convincing him. Give me a presence and command roll, please. base difficulty of 1 here.
I'm not even trying to bluff.
Well,
Presence and command. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. 2 dice.
yep. This is more like a persuasive, commanding aura that you were giving off. Well, you scored 1 success, so you were just you did just enough to convince him. But he'll gesture for you to leave the cockpit as he begins getting the shuttle going as fast as he can. Um, I'll seal the door behind you.
Okay.
Yeah. So time passes, and
And I check with Kresik. I also check with Liwan and make sure she still has the data core.
yeah, I've got it. I don't know whether it's in full working order here. I frankly won't know until I get back to a computer in order to verify that.
That will happen as soon as we get back to the ship. How's the cough?
Stable.
Stable. Kelsa's not with us anymore, is she?
I don't believe she came with you, or you
Okay.
didn't stop.
She's still
to
on
get
the screen, so that's why I was asking.
That's fair. Let me get rid of her. We are also having a problem where it seems that a token that shouldn't be there is still sticking around, and I cannot explain why. Alas, there is a slight bit of jank with Roll20, and I cannot account for it. But it will be fixed before next session.
Kresik? What is... Kresik! I say kind of loudly. What is Woe's condition?
Losing life signs. I hand him my medical scanner and I say, dampening field. Mask. Needs to mask life signs.
That's what's written on the data pad?
No, I hand you my medical scanner, and
okay.
I tell you basically I need this modified to dampen life signs.
Ah. All right. So take a look. It's probably fairly large considering it's for Kresik's.
Yeah, it's a me size. It's a me size scanner.
It's a U size, right? So instead of sending me something like a cell phone, you just handed me an iPad.
Yeah. Or a Geiger counter.
Geiger counter.
I can imagine.
Yeah, one of those
boxy.
nice yellow ones.
Yeah. So I will crack it open and see what I can do to modify it to do what he needs it to do.
Okay. I'll give you the chance to do just a one-off roll with regard to this. We'll call it Daring and Engineering with a difficulty of 2.
Alrighty.
Can I assist?
I will allow you to assist. I think reason and I think science would apply here. I suppose I could give you either engineering or I only hesitate to do medicine because the
No, I agree.
Yeah, let's call it science.
Medicine. Right,
Yeah.
Right,
One dice, no focus. But hey, it's help.
You're turning
Trying to
Woe
see if
into a
any of my-
ghost, so it's paranormal activity.
You're right.
Ooh.
Oof.
Unfortunately, none of my focuses fit. I don't get a focus.
I did not succeed, so please. Okay,
Neither did I.
never mind.
Yeah, nope.
Well,
I didn't break it
Not
though.
gonna work.
yeah.
I didn't break it though.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Tabak, you realize that while the Gorn equipment that at least the surplus parts.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Xenotechnology is one of my, and this is a Gorn one, but that probably would not have helped any.
Nope. You don't understand enough about Gorn technology to be able to use this to any effective degree. So Woe's life signs are you don't find a way in order to get that to move. Having some difficulty with it, basically. I will give you.
I crack it open, look at it, and go, nope, not gonna work. Close it back up and hand it to him.
Yeah, just for the sake of helping out here, if any of you would like to roll for Li Wan, she could come in and offer her own daring and engineering.
I'll roll for her.
Spectacular. Um, so she does get a small equipment maintenance focus, and I don't think anybody has. I don't think anybody has actually done anything to add on to her character. So this can be an activation with either giving her a point in a discipline, a point in an attribute, or giving her a new talent, value, or focus.
Oh man.
Okay, did you say daring in medicine or daring in science?
Daring and engineering, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wrong on both accounts. Okay.
Well, that is one success and one complication.
God dang it.
So that
Okay.
is not enough to do so. And Li Wan comes in a bit frustrated, thinking that she knows how to do it. Unfortunately, she breaks the scanner.
Oh, I'm so
Much to the
sorry.
chagrin of the 8-foot tall, very muscular Gorn doctor.
I only have one more of those.
Kresik, don't eat her. Please.
She gently hands the broken thing back to Kresik and takes a big step backwards.
I
Have
could,
to do this the old-fashioned way.
Just don't break her neck. Even you can't fix that.
Leave medicine to the professionals.
Then attend to your soon-to-be dead patient, Doctor.
All right. So what do I have to do to try to fake this Kazin's death?
This is going to be daring and medicine. I'm going to say, I'll tell you what, I will give you a variable difficulty. You can roll up to, you can select a difficulty from 1 through 3. However much you roll, it will be the inverse on that scale. So, for example, you can roll a difficulty 1 daring and medicine, and that will, in very short order, it will send Woe's life signs into a bit of a tumble. However, it will be that much more difficult to bring her back. That is to say, you would have to roll a 3 in order to stabilize her.
What do you guys want? Whoa, it's your character.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know.
And you know, just to make this a little more difficult, I'm
Oh,
spending
yeah, go
2
ahead.
Oh,
points
thanks.
I'm spending 2 points of threat.
Uh-huh.
I am now
You're so
increasing
mean.
the range that you can choose to be 1 through 4. So
Oh, God. You want to go for 2? Let's go for 2.
I'm fine with 2 if you're fine with 2.
Let's
2
do
will
2.
2 will set recovery now for a difficulty of 3 to bring her back.
What do you think? Or should we go for 3?
Oh, God. Let's just go with 2.
Okay. Can I spend that momentum?
Yeah, I was going to recommend it.
Xenobiology would work
Yes, that will
as a
apply.
focus. Daring and medicine. Oh boy, here we go.
If you kill me, I'm going to kill you.
Understandable. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
I'm going to use my cautious to reroll that blank die and see what happens.
Okay.
Oh,
So, with cautious medicine, that is one of the talents, basically special abilities that characters can have for those not in the know. In this case, when a character uses momentum specific to a discipline, which obviously Kresik, he's a doctor, he has medicine for the selected discipline, it does give him the ability to re-roll. Unfortunately, the 0 that you attempted to re-roll did not come out to another success. So, at the very least, you scored 2 successes. That was what you were aiming for. You have set things up to where Woe's injuries will appear to have been lethal enough to kill her, and she will appear to be in a physiologically, clinically speaking, she will appear dead. However, the method you have used is just a small caveat here. Unlike most lethal injury circumstances, this is something where she can be brought back later. The main concern, of course, is still just getting her to the ship as quickly as possible and healing her, or rather stabilizing her, performing the reverse treatment, which will be more difficult.
Yeah, if I still had my scanner functioning, I might have been able to make this work a little bit better, but somebody broke my scanner.
Okay.
Lee-Wan is not looking at you whatsoever.
Yep. So the shuttle is beginning to close on the port area. Woe's vital signs appear to have diminished as far as any detectable means that you have on you.
All right. Well, I try to call the ship.
Okay. Captain, this is Vopri. We are receiving you. The channel is
Vopri.
secure. I did secure the channel. It is all secure.
Good. Give me Raldar.
Patching you through now, Captain.
Raldar, you scaly bastard.
Yes.
How goes the modification?
Should be good to go.
We should be close enough. Can you get a lock on her?
Let's see.
You might have to scan for
Raldar, you
Kzinti DNA rather than life signs at this point.
Raldar, you detect no Kzinti life signs on board.
I see. Well,
Look for Kzinti biomass.
Kzinti biomass it is. What do I need to roll to differentiate?
In order to conduct the transporter task here, since you're beaming from one location without a pad to the cargo pad, that I believe is going to be a control plus engineering task here. And what you're going to need to, difficulty-wise, that will be, because you are beaming from a target that is not on a pad, you're going to be beaming at a difficulty of 3.
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could I be close by to assist?
Traven, how would you plan to assist here?
Motivational support.
You can do it!
My computer's focus supply.
You just...
Specifically to use my advisor ability.
Oh, I'm just imagining you with a boombox playing You're the Best Around.
Oh dear. Well, Traven, I feel like at this point the Trill man that they're supposed to be hiding, giving encouraging words might be more distracting than useful right now. So
Fair enough.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. As to your request, Raldar, I will allow for computers to apply in this situation.
All right. Hmm.
So you will need to score 3 in order to succeed here.
We got no more momentum to throw at you either.
No momentum. I don't think any of my values really apply. Good luck. Hope you don't get
You could
spaghettified.
You can always spend, or rather, you can give the GM points of threat if you so wish to buy additional dice.
Do it.
All right. I'll give you 1 point of threat for an extra die.
Tasty, tasty threat.
Ugh.
Goblin.
He's a goblin.
Fuck.
That is
Yeah.
2 successes, which is 1 less than you needed in order to complete the transport. Would you like to succeed at cost?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you
Fucking-
Don't really have a choice.
I'm over here like, let there be another accident.
Yep.
Let woe suffer.
you
the
actually
Yes!
lost an arm.
the transporter engages smoothly enough, and the now deceased Woe appears on the platform as far as anyone can detect. And after that, the lights on all the computer systems go out, save for a few emergency lights that are scattered about.
Oh. Now we have no power.
Yep. And
That means communications are off too?
the comm line has cut out, yes.
Mm.
Well, the communications have gone out. Probably
I'm
because
gonna
they detected the transport and shut everything down. That was expected. I probably should have told them that.
hide.
Traven, you hide in the. You find a dark part of the ship, which the ship is entirely dark right now, so it's easy. I'm actually curious. Just for fluff, give me. Oh, let's go with presence and security to determine how well you hide here. Or no, switch over to daring if you please. I
Uh-oh.
want to know where this goes.
Okay. I'm going to use my join talent.
Okay.
I'm gonna call upon. Let me just make sure I got her name correctly. I'm gonna call upon the memories of Frem. She was a female activist and a freedom fighter
Okay.
to help me hide better.
Sounds like a plan.
See that
And
garbage compactor.
that will allow me to have an extra dice to my roll.
Spectacular.
And daring and security. Yo, let's go. Yeah.
You duck in a corner and place your hands over your eyes.
If I can't see them, they can't see me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it. Oh my god, Caboose.
Yeah. When you tapped on your host's memories, how do I hide in this ship that is dark and I can't see in? The advice you got you didn't realize was done sarcastically. Not the greatest sync with this particular host.
I'm
Very
hidden.
So
yes.
because you're an asshole to yourself, you're gonna get great. Okay.
Well, just because power's out doesn't mean that the ship's going to get boarded. Hey,
Was
he
that
did.
sarcasm? Was that sarcasm?
Look,
I'm
I'm just saying that in order for Traven to spill out, there would have had to be two of those zeros would have had to be complications. That would have led him to hide in the lift, accidentally hit the down button, and then be spat out at the end of the ship or at the bottom of the ship, right in front of the house guards. That did not happen, so that is. Uh, he scored no successes in 3 dice. That's the best I can give you.
Oh, I understand that, but no, it was it doesn't mean. No, come on. GM to GM. That's a loaded statement right there, my friend.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, uh, to be fair to Raldar, the power drain probably did come in part from the persistent running of the Klingon ACDC equivalent.
No
But
more speakers.
nope. In any case, yeah, the the Kazinti has disappeared from the hold. Obviously, she was dead by that point. The remaining party here, Dekoth, Leiwan, Tabak, and Kresik, uh, within a few minutes, land at the port. The
We
shuttle sets.
disembark.
Yep. Yep, and you find that there is quite a bit more of an armed presence than you previously remember when you were last here.
Yeah, and they're probably looking at us. So
There are indeed some.
start just unless someone says or does something. I'm just walking towards the ship with the rest of my crew.
Yeah, the guards at the immediate shuttle pad are not going to do anything to stop you. By the time that you make it out to by the time you make it to the port, you see that there's a fairly heavy armed presence around the area. Um,
I say the
but
Klingon equivalent of shit, and keep going.
uh, as you approach, you notice that there are uh, whatever. Presuming Azek said anything about the numbers, they have increased a bit more. There are some emplacements set up for heavy. You'd say they're heavier weapons. It wouldn't be enough to take down a ship in most circumstances, but given how much damage the Yan has already taken, and given that it's not likely to be able to raise shields, it's bad enough that the ship would probably not be able to take off even if the dampeners weren't in effect. It is also, with a lucky shot to one of the thinner spots in the hull right now, and it would be a problem. Let's go ahead and move you guys over to the port map. So, as the sun is beginning to set here, and it's getting into the later, it's starting to get more into evening, proper night. One of the guards will stop you as you approach the ship.
What do you want?
That is my question to ask to you there.
This
Are
is
you
my
Captain?
ship. Get out of my way.
Your vessel is being impounded by order of
It's
the
still
governor.
my ship. Get out of my way. What do you want?
We wish to know where the Kazinti that was in your company
Dead.
is. Dead, you say?
Dead. We transported her corpse to the ship.
Can you
Their
present?
traditions are different than ours. We bring her corpse back to her family.
Can you present proof of said death?
You want to come on board the ship? Then get out of my way and come on board the ship. Just you, not the rest of these.
He looks to the bunch of them. Given the given the situation, I will see about gaining approval. I am much more likely to succeed with the allowance of a guard or two in order to conduct a more thorough inspection.
My ship is in lockdown. You have more troops here than I could muster. What are you afraid of? You fear treachery? You impugn my honor and trying to say that I would stab you in the back?
You
Not
kept
only do you call me a coward, but you call me an idiot as well.
as I imagine at this point, you're both kind of squaring off, puffing up your chests a little bit.
Yeah, as best as I can.
I have reason to question the judgment of anyone that keeps a Kazinti Hadebach amongst their crew, particularly one that is brought here in a spirit of friendship and then assaults the very guards of the people that she was that had so had invited her in.
They drew blood first, and that's
That
not
is
the
not
point.
what I have.
She is no, that's not what you have. That's what I have. And I knew Woe very well, and I trusted her, and I believed her, and you will not impugn her honor either.
And you, nor you that of my men, whose word I trust
Then
on
come
this.
in and take a look at the damned corpse. So we can get on with this mess. I'm trying to help you people, and all I get is hindrance.
The guard captain just kind of shakes his head here and permit me one moment. And
You have that one moment. Now get out of my way so we can get on board my ship.
so he'll wave you through as he moves to the comm lines in order to make the uh, make the appropriate make the appropriate call. You find your way near the bottom of the lift.
And it won't come down because there's not enough power to make the lift move.
Yep. I'll say in the time that it's taken. Tell you what, Raldar, if you want to give me just a quick I'd say give me a quick daring and engineering, or actually let's make this just a proper restore power task here. Technically you don't need to necessarily do anything with the points involved, but the dampeners are doing enough of that, so let's call it um, power management would be not power management. No, I think that should be applicable. Hmm. Okay, let's call this control and engineering with a difficulty of 2.
All right. I think I got this. Yeah.
Yep, you do
God.
indeed have it. You find that the transporter shorted a coupling that seems to have been defective or had taken damage earlier, but you hadn't noticed the full extent of it. It hadn't given out. Uh, but you do re-engage. You find a way to bypass it, and power starts flowing from the reserves again, so you are able to reactivate the lift as Tabak requests it for, let's say, the 3rd time. Uh, as you do, Tabak,
Push the button, nothing happens. Push the button, nothing happens. Push the button.
Yep. The guard captain will come to join you and say, I will conduct the inspection myself.
Good.
You may
As
take
I'm
me.
on the lift, I activate the little, ship the shipwide little communicator doodad that's built into it, and I say, make sure everything and everyone is in order. Push the up button.
Yep. So, Raldar, would you have just left Woe's apparent corpse on the cargo transporter pad, or would you have moved her somewhere more dignified?
Nah, just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Could he have moved her?
I mean, Raldar
Yes.
probably could have.
Okay.
The disrespect is unreal. Oh my god.
Yep.
Well, you know,
So I presume you arrive on the subdeck.
which is also where the cargo transporter is.
Yep.
Yep.
And you guide him around. The guard looking over the crates and boxes you have around. And you come around to the cargo transporter, and he sees Woe just laid out there.
Dead.
Mm.
We were assaulted by other Klingons. Not of your guard. Not of the governor's guard. Not of the villagers. We were assaulted. There were at least 6 of them, maybe 7.
Hmm. most
disruptors, and the oddest batleths I have ever seen.
The guard walks over to Woe, just gives her a kick without any response.
We had to use the cargo transporter to move her. It's not rated for living things.
I'm sure it isn't. Well, if it is custom for these Pharaohs to simply be left out like the garbage they are, then I suppose that is a fitting enough fate.
The custom is for her family to get the pile of meat back. I will have my Gorn crewmen get the body to medical so that they can put it into stasis. Assuming we have enough power to run stasis. Can we get the clamps off of my ship so I can continue to find out who is raiding and pillaging and stealing your people?
I will send a message back to the governor, or perhaps his advisor would be more friendly.
Please, yes.
Well, we'll let that
As I
go.
say that out loud, and I wonder what he's going to say when he realizes the cook is
Yeah. On that note, the guard captain does stop and say, "There are reports that that there were several items removed from the kitchen. It seems that the location was ransacked. I don't suppose you knew of your pets' uh, activities while they were at the manor."
She was instructed to help resupply. She took that to pilfering.
Oh.
I just sort of gesticulate towards the corpse. I don't suppose it's going to matter that much right now, will it? Food is food.
I will not take action against you now, since it seems the guilty party has met a fate, death at battle, hardly better than it deserves.
You will speak with respect for the members of my crew. Klingons they may not be, but every one of them is honorable and loyal and worthy of notice. And I care not. I care not for your racist attitudes.
He looks to Woe down on the ground. I know not what honor this thing had when it was when spirit inhabited this shell, but you would be hard pressed to convince me that anyone that ransacks a room such as they did and then attacks those who offered it status as guest.
Who attacked her first?
That remains in dispute, Captain, and one that on that point I count on the words of my own men. But I will not bother to try and convince you, for a fool who stands convinced of their own convictions and of this, he simply says, gesturing to the apparent corpse.
Then if our business is finished for now, get off of my ship and get your crap off of it as well.
All in due time, he says, heading back towards the lift. So
hit the communications and say, Kresic, Raldar, get down to main cargo 2. You have to move the body to sick bay to get it into stasis before it begins to smell up the cargo bay.
Acknowledged.
So
and we've got everybody back on board the ship. Yay.
Yep. Yep. So a scene cut later. Woe is indeed in sickbay, being moved by Kresic and Raldar back onto a biobed.
There's probably only one bio bed that's big enough, and that's the one in the
My
isolation
room, yes.
room. Yeah, unfortunately, it's also rigged to function as a as a stasis chamber.
Yes. Yep.
But at least you can work on her there.
All right. So we're bringing her out.
Apparently, we've already got you. You manhandled the corpse up the elevator already. Apparently.
Yep,
There's two going. It's pretty. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I gave you the chance to just skip ahead past that part.
Yep.
You begin synthesizing the appropriate mix of stimulants and whatnot. Go ahead and give me a daring and medicine task to try and restabilize Woe and aim to bring her back. This will be, yes, daring and medicine, difficulty of 3.
Difficulty of 3. Excellent. Is the ship assisting?
It is not able to at present. While power has been restored, the systems are a bit unreliable right now.
All right. So how much threat do you want me to spend for extra dice, folks?
You need 3 successes,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be 1 threat for 1 die.
3 for 2 dice.
For 2 dice. Okay, Mr. GM, have 3 threats.
Okay. Take 3 more threat.
No,
Yeah, I know.
that's
I know.
It's
oh
beautiful.
my god, you guys.
The only thing we can do.
The GM
Is it-
Or
appreciates
you
our
start
service.
rolling up a new character.
You not have determination?
No, I used it to save the goth.
Oh yeah, that was this session too. That wasn't.
Yep.
last session.
Yep.
I don't
All right,
want
here we
to
go.
take my determination, can you?
Oh, that was incorrect. I gave everybody threat. Let's recall that. And deal myself the 10. So,
As it
we
is, I handily succeeded.
yes, you do.
Yes.
Holy
And
smokes.
you earn back 3 points of momentum.
Oh, thank God.
So yeah. Woe, the world comes back into focus, and then it, like, whatever Kresic like pumps in with the hypo gun, from the last moment that you were conscious to now, you have very much departed dreamland, and you are very firmly in a very in the cramped sick bay, dimly lit, back aboard the On.
I just imagine her like her lungs finally expanding fully, like, and then like trying to immediately sit up as hard as she can, and slamming into the bed thing. What? What was this? What's going on?
You were dead. Now you're not.
What? Did you kill me? And she starts like struggling to get out of the bed.
It's a good thing you're strapped down.
No. Ish.
What do you mean, no-ish? And she's like actively really starting to slam. If I get out of here, you're gonna have no head, no arms, no legs. I'm gonna push you out. And you can just hear her dissolving into incoherent screaming at you.
Yep. Just spitting
And
everything
then
flying.
at which point Cheshire comes walking in, hops up on top, and nestles down on your chest.
And then I just stop and stare at Cheshire. Just all right. So what happened?
They wanted you dead. I made you dead.
I suppose that was a good idea. Little bit. You lose points for execution, though. That was awful.
Somebody,
Maybe tell me the plan next time.
somebody broke my scanner. There was complications.
Mm. Oh, that must have been so hard for you. Scandalous. Alive.
It is good to have you back.
It's good to see your scaly face again. Albeit I'd like to be out of this bed, please.
I will
just
still have
imagine
arms.
you will still have arms and a head. Legs are negotiable. And I just imagine she's so big on this table that her feet are dangling
Yes,
off.
absolutely. And I undo I undo all the restraints.
She stands up and then immediately winces.
You're probably sore as hell.
It appears I'm still gut shot.
Oh yeah, question about that.
That you've been mostly dead all day.
Would my stimulant shot talent have applied with that daring and medicine check?
You know, since it's the same roll anyway, I will allow for that.
Cool. Heal 10 wounds.
10 points of stress, that is.
10 points of stress, excuse me. Whoa. Heal 10 points of stress.
Oh, how many? What was my stress at to begin with? I wasn't here.
You should be on your character sheet.
Yeah,
Let me
I
look.
believe that you took 9 points of stress the last time, so it would completely restore you to normal.
Okay, how many? Wait.
You're all better.
Okay. I don't know how to deal with the stress. I've never actually had to do it before. Okay. I've never had to do it before. I don't know how it works. Okay. I can't get rid of one of them. I don't know why.
With that, you want to actually click the stress,
I am. It won't go away.
That's really odd. We'll figure it out in a bit. But yes, as Kresic is seeing to woe here, and once again a token is sticking around that I don't understand, and I don't understand why.
I don't know what token you're talking about. I don't see it on screen.
Well, the broadcast version seems to be showing Gradal as still in one of the biobeds. I do not understand why. They'll be fixed later.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, while all this is going on, Tabak, as you get back and start assessing the systems, the dampeners have remained in place and for most of the rest of the night. Long-range sensors are out. Engines and weapons aren't going to function for the time being. The doubt structural integrity fields would properly function, and to top that all off, there's still some hull plating that was going to be replaced that is not being loaded onto the ship yet. You don't have the supplies to make a break for it, even if power was functioning, but they seem to be taking their time on that front. And the power situation remains frightfully difficult. All things that I'm sure Raldar would have noticed at this point and has probably already been explaining to you.
I'm assuming, hopefully, that the computer is functional.
Just barely. You do also have local communication. That is to say, internal comms and short range outside the ship.
Right. Well, nobody out there I want to talk to right now. Liwan, do you have enough? Here, come to the bridge. Computer access is here. Do you need more power? What do you need?
As excuse me there. After another minute or so pass, a few moments pass as Liwan follows you up to the bridge, Tabak, and
Computers don't actually take a lot of power to run.
yeah. But Liwan will enter the bridge, and she will start. She'll get in and pull up the node. Yeah, I should be able to work up an interface here. Or I should be able to the technology is pretty compatible. This is oh dear, this is a rather old ship, isn't it?
Very.
Well, I should be able to get an interface going in relatively short order. Some of these uh, computer interface ports appear to be somewhat older, so they almost match. I'd say this is a little. The datapad is a little ahead of the times, but shouldn't be much of a problem.
If you
Don't
need more
suppose you have any.
power, if you need
Uh,
more power, talk to Raldar. He will get you the power you need.
all right. Don't suppose you have food around here, do you? Or
Oh yes, we do. What do you need?
well, just I guess. Well, I think she was actually here last time, and found out that Traven was staying on board.
Yeah,
Just
she does know.
something that is preferably cooked but not burnt, and better yet, if you happen to have any fruit of any sort.
Huh. Probably. We have a lot of vegetable matter for the leaf eater. So just here's the comm panel. Just call Traven. Get you food.
Yep. She pushes the button, and there's a momentary pause. You almost catch a sign of a bit of a mischievous grin.
On who?
Liwan.
Uh-huh.
Bridge to Traven.
Is there a panel I can access to call the bridge?
There
They're
is.
everywhere.
Yep.
They're everywhere.
I click it. Is it
You,
safe?
you say this taking one hand off of your eyes, which are still shut. I think we're in the clear right now, and somebody with a more important job than you needs food brought up to them. And if you happen to have one of those little dining cart things, then you can just roll that up, or, just bring me a plate. You know what I like.
Is this an order from the captain?
Yes, bring her food.
Bring her some food. Bring her the best goddamn food she's ever fucking eaten. Shut it off.
As soon as that clicks off, I just like bust out in laughter, big rolling belly laughs, and then I wince and go, "Ow!"
Do you still need to go and see a doctor of your own there, Captain?
Yes, I do. Uh,
All right.
we're all Azek, Azek Vopri, do what you can with the sensors. See what you can do to extend the range some. Drag power from almost anywhere you need it from. Life, we don't really need life support. We don't really need gravity. We don't really need a lot of things right now. Take what power you need. Keep the sensors going as best you can. I have to go see a doctor. Maybe he can close this very large gaping hole in my person.
Okay. So,
Is Raldar on the bridge?
I believe I had just because I'd had a throwaway line saying that Raldar was explaining things to you while you were.
Thank you. All right,
Uh,
then Raldar, just get back to repairs. They probably won't send more people here till the morning. Do what you can.
Yeah. I
I'm on my way to sickbay. I get up out of my chair and go to sickbay.
okay.
Azek, where's Cheshire?
No idea.
All right. You didn't do anything to her while we were gone, did you?
No, I did not let her sit on the captain's chair and eat while to leave crumbs on there.
She does that anyway. All right. So then I turn around, go out, and stomp down the neck, down to medical.
Yep. Yeah. Korg, I could just imagine Mr. Korg with a hand over his eyes saying, "No, I have not seen the cat."
Yep. Well, I was waiting for Woe to come to say something in the hall, and then it's like an immediate nope.
Fair enough.
Was just walking around with Shashir like a boa on her shoulders.
I don't. Well, no. Cheshire is a very, very, very large cat, so yeah, probably could make it around your neck.
Yeah. So
Do I? Is she still in sick bay by the time I get down there?
she probably isn't moving too fast out of sick bay, so I would imagine you could
Well, I'm talking about
probably.
Woe.
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Woe wouldn't be moving terribly fast.
All
So
right. So I get down there and go, Kresik, I need some attention. How's the cough? He's in here as well, I am sure.
He is stabilizing. Bones are healing.
Good. That was an interesting trick. Mashing his chest to get him to. What were you doing? Making his heart work again?
Yes.
Thing trick.
It is not a trick, it is medicine.
Interesting trick of medicine. Anyway. Whoa. For the time being, you're probably going to have to stay in sick bay.
She looks at like the tiny room she's in.
Probably.
Just sick bay. Oh god.
Yes, because the room that we put you in functions as a stasis chamber. We can run a low levels. We can set a. We can run low power through the stasis generators and mask your life signs in case somebody decides to scan the ship. You're dead, remember?
I
She
killed
looks
you.
she looks at Kresik then and says, "So I have to spend God knows how long in your bedroom where you sleep." And she's like smiling.
Well, in the meantime, he can use your hot rock.
Mm,
Anyway,
can he though? Can he really?
probably. But yeah.
Sorry, she's just so smug about this. It's cracking me up. I can see it.
So it's just until we get off of this planet, they have to think you're dead. Unless you want to be dead, we can arrange that.
You couldn't kill me when I was already dead. I don't think you're gonna kill me now. Alright.
You almost didn't come back. What are you talking about?
I would have figured that out. Life finds a way. She does a little stretch and walks over to Kresik and pats him on the shoulder. I'll see you tonight, Rumi. Goes to lay down in his bed.
Don't touch the plant.
Plans? Plans? What do you mean plan?
Plant.
Oh, plant.
I said I was sorry about the plant. It was one time.
One time or too many, apparently. So, physician, see to my wounds.
Very well. And I'm fine just cutting.
yeah, that
That's me.
was very much my plan here. So I think that right now we would actually take a quick look down in. We'll go briefly to a theater of the mind here as we cut down to the galley where Traven, you are busy at work on the best damn meal that Lewan has ever had. Tell me, as with the idea being that unlike most of the Klingon fare, she actually appreciates a good cooked meal, and she's a bit more willing to try some of the uh, things that Klingons would find unconventional appetizing, but maybe would be a little more to the palate of someone from back in the Federation. What would you be trying to make a version of, or what would your goal be with the uh, collection of vegetables, herbs, and proteins that you've assembled?
Well, I've got vegetables, I got herbs, I got proteins. That is perfect for a nice stew. Hearty,
Oh,
filling. I can put it to the side and we can eat on it for a while.
gotcha, gotcha. So give me a control and science roll, if you please, with a difficulty of 2.
May I add my cultural cuisine focus?
I will allow you to do that.
And what was the complication range again?
The complication range is only 1, however, you need to score 2 successes in order to succeed at this task.
Gotcha. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you can roll a second die there.
Did I not roll a second die? Oh, I didn't. I'm a fool.
Yes, yes. Try that roll again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 2 successes. You put together a pretty good stew, you think, a very solid entry. It's got the exact right flair of spice and savory in there. Maybe a very small hint of something sweet that might appeal to Lee Wan's palate. It certainly does to yours, so that should do pretty well. You cart that up to the bridge, where you see Lee Wan working away. It's been a few hours now since the others have come back to the ship, and it's starting to get later at the night. At this point, at the very least, the small, sinewy figure, the bright, whose skin is very bright white and is absent any hair, Vopra, you believe he's called. He has left the bridge, um, and unless Mr. Korg is staying late on shift, then he might be gone as well. I'll leave that to your judgment there, Isaac.
I'll be in my bunk.
Okay. All right, then it is just the two of you. As you arrive on the bridge with a piping hot bowl of stew, Lewan is looking over, trying to work out something over at her terminal. Oh, I was wondering when you were going to show.
You cannot rush perfection. Now, this isn't your normal Klingon approach. Put this in that mouth and tell me it doesn't put a pep in your step.
Well, let's see here. Her expression freezes for a moment as she takes a spoonful with a bit of vegetable and places it in her mouth. She raises her eyebrows and pulls the spoon away, completely emptied of any of its contents. Okay, that's good. That's real good. It,
Got the mind of two cooks up here.
no kidding. You do have to explain to me that reference sometime. I'll admit I don't get it myself, but anyway, sometimes a nice meal and I would have gone for the stew actually if it had been a little bit if we were still outside, but while it's still a bit hotter in here than I like, it's not as bad honestly as the way they keep it in the manor sometimes. But yeah, I'm just very nearly about through this data here. I was able to reconnect it to a to a local station here, so I've got a file up and There we go. Oh. No.
What?
She taps at the console, immediately clears out the data she had and disconnects the module. Traven, we've
Mhm.
got a bit of a problem here. And that is where we are going to cut off to, the session for tonight. So
No!
No!
I love it. Thank you. That was a perfect spot to do it. Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Oh.
So frustrating. Thank you. That was brilliant.
Weird.
yep.
Ah,
So
you son of a biscuit eater. Ugh.
now that before my players stop censoring themselves for the archive, I'm going to take us off the recording here. So for those watching on YouTube, this is where we leave you. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's session and hope you come back next week for another episode. Again, if you ever want to join the streams live, we air these at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday nights. So just bear that in mind for whatever time zone you're in. But we'll see you around. So till then, this is your GM in the Great Barrier signing off.